Hello, I'm the Best Scout Machine. This is my Dynamite recap for January 21st, 2026. First, let's talk about MJF coming out to the ring, which leads me back to this photo. MJF comes out and cuts what I feel like is like an 80s style NWA Jim Crockett promo, which I loved, and out came our hero, the only king in America, Brody King. Before I continue, here's a photo of me with Brody King. Yes, I know we both look like brothers. I told him, you look like I would look like if I tried. These two have an amazing back and forth that left my nipples incredibly hard, hoping that our king would get a title shot against MJF. And who knows, maybe that could happen at Revolution. It is going to be in LA. Brody King is from the Southern California LA area. I know that because I live there. First match of the night was Speedball Mike Bailey against Samoa Joe. Man, Samoa Joe left a slap. He just slapped Speedball so hard at one point. It made my chest hurt. These two Speedball is a wrestling god, so seeing him versus an actual god, it was something else. I was a little annoyed by all the shenanigans, but come on, we need Katsuyori Shibata to do something every week. So yeah, he was all like, hey, look over here. Oh no, I'm gonna hit you here. Hook was all up in there, being a quiet little bitch. But at the end, shenanigans prevailed and Samoa Joe won. You had the Death Riders against Don Callis family in a street fight. Although street fights are now like in the middle of a weekly TV show as opposed to like the main event of a pay-per-view, and we get to see glass and barbed wire and thumbtacks. And Jon Moxley didn't bleed from his head not one time, only from his back. On a side note, are the Death Riders considered faces now? Because I still really want to boo Wheeler Yuta. I guess this is what it feels like when your kid graduates high school, because Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, who I've been watching for years in the indie scene, are now all elite, and their first match was against FTR, which was a pretty good match. It was a nice little first showing, but I assure you, if this is the first time you've seen them, they can do way more. They got a lot in their back pocket, waiting for you. So please don't go online bitching about how, like, they're vanilla midgets or something. There's more to them. Or should I have said vanilla baby? I don't know. That's a word. The M word is something we shouldn't say anymore, okay? On a side note, here's a picture of me with Jordan Oliver, because he's amazing. Break out the maple syrup. We had Josh Alexander against Kenny Omega. And not a barn burner, but it was a great match. I think it was the best that I have seen Kenny Omega look. On a side note, Josh Alexander, he needs to start winning more matches, like less winning tag team matches. He needs to win some singles bouts. But Kenny Omega, best he's looked physically and everything. I think he's ready for a world championship match now. Tekla spit at the camera. And after spitting at the camera, Tekla now gets a title shot against Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. We got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus the Timeless Love Bombs. I absolutely love their whole dance routine at the beginning. I'm trying to get me and my wife to be them two for Halloween. Obviously, I'm going to be Mina Shirakawa. Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, they looked great. I loved seeing Penelope Ford back. I saw she only wrestled like a little bit like a week ago, so I was really shocked to see her in like full, like, okay, she is wrestling. Because I swear to God, I saw her, I think it was Collision or Dynamite last week, and all she did was one clothesline, if that. I think they did a Doomsday Device. This match was great. I felt like there were some calls. Like, at one point, like, Megan Bayne tosses Penelope Ford at Mina, and she falls short by like an entire foot. But God bless her, because I know I'm not a wrestler. I wouldn't be able to lift anybody there. Megan Bayne could lift me, and should. Finally, we got Swerve Strickland against Kevin Knight. Like, damn. Like, Kevin Knight was all over the place. Swerve, oh my God. And you see MJF just sitting there like, drinking his drink going, oh, I gotta do more flips. Like I said, these two, great match, great chemistry together. Kevin Knight, like I said in a video last week, where I love Kevin Knight, I love Speedball Mike Bailey, I'm not a fan of them as a tag team. I feel guilty saying that, but I'm just not a fan of them together. Even though I'm gonna give Horsecock a try. The trio's team is called Horsecock. It will be forever known as Horsecock. And speaking of Horsecock, Swerve Strickland gets the win. Oh god, that sequence at the end. Blue, when it just like Kevin Knight is like they're just he's just flying by, then House Call. Like that's where's my action figures? I need to reenact this with action figures and lotion. We're not doing that. Okay, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed my recap of AEW Dynamite. And here's Kenny Omega. I guess he did some like graphic thing he wore. What is it called? Like scene catchery for the next Street Fighter video game. I'm not a video game person, which doesn't make sense because I totally lost my virginity in my 20s.